everyone. As promised, I figured I would try to give you guys a quick rendition of a prep for the steel cut oats that I make. I've recently grown to love oatmeal. I've never had it before until about maybe 6 weeks ago. So I really promise you I had a great childhood, and we had really great other food. We just never had oatmeal, or at least not that I can recall. And what I really like about this recipe is how quick it is, how I use a crock pot, so the set it and forget it mentality when it comes to the food prep. I think is wonderful, is a wonderful aspect. But the other good thing about this is I make it that will last the week. So I take whatever I put into the crock pot. Once it's cooled a little bit, I'll then throw it into a Tupperware, throw it into the refrigerator. I'm doing a lot of throwing, aren't I? But I'll throw it into the refrigerator, and then I'll pop it out and take a serving, a day, or, whenever I'm in the mood for a little something sweet. I usually use this recipe or this meal as my breaking fast or my breakfast meal of the day. So, so I'm just going to show you what I do. I use ripe bananas, and I know that some people want to know what ripe looks like. I like the ones that have a little bit of brown to them. They make them a little bit smushier. Smushier is definitely an industry term, but they make them a little bit smushier. And they also make the bananas a little bit sweeter. So again, I really do enjoy the ripeness of a banana. If you don't have ripe bananas, I'd say wait a few days. But you can also use, regular bananas that are nice and yellow too. So the oats that I use, just buy them from the store, grocery store. Bob's Red Mill steel cut oats. I prefer the steel cut versus the rolled or the any other kind of oats. I don't know what they are. But I like the chunky texture to them. It makes me feel a little bit more full. And I also kind of just enjoy the flavor of them too. I mean, there's not much flavor to them, but once you start adding all your ingredients in, they kind of mesh really well together. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make about a cup of oatmeal. And this full cup and the extra ingredients that I'm going to throw in will last me for the week. I am the only one that eats them in the family. The others in the family, they like them, but they don't prefer them. And since this is something that I don't mind making and I kind of enjoy, I kind of get to reap the rewards. So anyway, I'm going to fill up a cup of the oats. And you can't really see because it's off the screen and it's just me, so I can't move it right now. But I'm filling up a cup of the oats, and I'm filling it over my crock pot. And I'm going to kind of move the crock pot in a few. I'll get better at this, I promise. So I've got my crock pot on. No, not on yet, sorry. I got my cup of steel oats. Dumping them in. The next thing that I'm going to do is 4 cups, nope, I lied, 3 cups of water. And you're going to see how much liquid I'm throwing into this crock pot. And I will tell you, it looks like a lot, but it really boils down and the oats absorb a lot of the moisture in there. So don't be alarmed. 3 cups though. I'm on 2. And 3, and then I'm gonna throw 2 cups, I was gonna say 3, 2 cups of the, what is this called? Almond milk. There we go, almond milk. The one that I like is the unsweetened vanilla, and it really gives a little more flavor to your oats. So yeah, so 2 cups of this, and I'm gonna pour this over here in case I spill. So 1. And 2. And again, don't be alarmed by how much liquid it looks like within the crock pot. Then I'm going to take my mashed bananas. I told you what the banana's supposed to look like, the ones that I like. Mash them up real good as best you can. I like them a little bit chunky, but not too chunky either. Especially then, you know, the next day when you're eating your oatmeal, you can add all the different toppings that you'd like. So that's 2 mashed bananas. I'm gonna throw them into the crock pot. And then, grab my spoon here. And then, so I got my almond milk, I've got my water. Then I use a dash of vanilla extract, and I'm almost out, so I'm gonna add that to my list when I run to the grocery store. And by dash, I don't measure a lot of things. I just kind of, you know, whatever looks right, whatever smells right. But as far as the vanilla extract, I'd probably go 2-3 dashes of it. I like it to be a little bit more vanilla-y. It definitely gives a good flavor. Same with the spices, and I'm a big fan of not measuring out spices either. So I also like my oatmeal cinnamony. Let's go with it. So I'm just going to pour in some of my cinnamon. And what I'm going to do is once I'm done here, I'll show you kind of how much. If you want to gauge it by what it looks like, that's great. But, you know, it's to your flavor. It's to your taste, whatever you like. And then nutmeg. And that kind of gives this the banana bread feel. Not just the nutmeg, but the cinnamon and the bananas. And then the next day, once I'm done, actually, you know, you can overnight this if you'd like. I like to run it on high, based off of my crock pot, on high for 4 hours. You can run it on low for 8 hours. I realized partway through my first epic fail on camera was that I forgot to prep my crock pot, but before I threw everything in there. So prepping the crock pot, all that means is you want a nice slick surface in there so that the oats, when they start to congeal a little bit and get a little mushier, that they don't stick to the sides, because this is a recipe that will absolutely destroy your crock pot if you don't. And destroy meaning you might have to let it sit overnight in the sink to soak and rinse, and then the next day you might have to put a lot of elbow grease into it. But I wanted to say that if you do that, don't worry. Just move all of the contents into, guys, I'm so sorry, a bowl, and clean out your crock pot real good, and then use some cooking spray. And so I'm gonna just make sure that my crock pot is all sprayed, and I am limiting the chance of my oats sticking to the side as best I can. And I'm going to just, you know, kind of smush this around in here, make sure that it's all over the place in the crock pot. And then I'm taking everything that I originally had in there and dumping it back in. Why not? Except I need my spoon. So yeah, so sorry about that, guys. But once you have the crock pot ready to go, and then you start adding all your ingredients, it probably will take you less than 5-7 minutes to prep your oatmeal. And once it's prepped, like I said, I will run mine on high for 4 hours, and then you can run it on low or overnight for 8 hours or what have you. You don't have to really pay too much attention to it. You can set it and forget it. And then once you, I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for using that catchphrase there, but once you have it set, you throw your lid on. Again, you don't have to mind it too much. You just wait for it to kind of look oatmeal-y, and then we can go from there. I'll give you another snapshot once it's done, and then I can give you another one of how I prep it. All right, thanks, guys. Okay, so this is what the oatmeal looks like now. And I'm just going to give it a quick stir. I told you it is going to stick to the sides a little bit, and you can imagine if I didn't use the cooking spray. It probably would have been a lot worse than it is right now. And now I will turn this off, let it cool, and then I'm going to throw it in the Tupperware. So to finish off my oatmeal, I like to add a few extra toppings like non-fat vanilla Greek yogurt, some berries, blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, some banana slices, and some pecans. And voila, then you have your oatmeal. Thanks for watching.